Ooh, I look like I'm finna rob a bank. What's good, YouTube? Today is Friday, so that means it is time for Flashback Fridays. Flashback Fridays is a new series that I'm starting where I'm gonna release a story every Friday where I'm telling you my experiences when it comes to music, and hopefully you gain some inspiration. Tell me what you would have done in that situation, and we become like internet friends by sharing stories or something like that. So today I'm going to tell you about that one time that I was told to quit being a musician. I hope it wasn't more than one time, and I hope y'all don't just hop in the comments and be like, yeah, quit. So some of you may know, some of you may not know, but I've graduated from the illustrious Tennessee State University. When I went to Tennessee State University, I actually declared my major to be business. I had a lot of business ideas in my mind, but one of my friends' moms actually told me, yeah, your gift will make room for you. And I was on the fence about doing music, but I decided to study commercial music mainly because they had a emphasis in business. Here's the thing about commercial music. It's a music performance degree. So regardless of which pathway I decided to take, I would have been studying performance. I had to pick a primary instrument, and I didn't know that. And prior to Tennessee State, I knew how to play a little bit of guitar. I knew how to play a little bit of piano. But for the most part, I was just in the band. I was playing trombone all my life. I was at Tennessee State on a band scholarship. So when they told me I had to declare a primary instrument, I really wasn't thinking about studying the trombone. You're making me pick an instrument for my career. Well, the professor who told me that I needed to declare a primary instrument, he had a guitar in the corner. And I'm looking at it like, could I study guitar? And they said, I don't know, can you? And they passed me the guitar. And they said, play a C chord. And this is me. Play an E chord. And they're like, well, I guess you can study guitar. So I'm like, this is my chance to actually capitalize on the fact that I'm learning guitar from a professional. Because prior to my studies of learning guitar, I've only learned guitar off of YouTube, my favorite songs off of YouTube. But you really skip over a lot of things that make you proficient on the instrument. So fast forward, I'm in my junior year now, so I've taken a few theory classes. I've taken like 4 semesters of private lessons. I've taken all of my core classes like math, reading. I've had a blast. I'm being social. I'm in dance organizations, sitting here dancing and stuff. I've been in the marching band, and I still had to be on top of my guitar studies where I'm playing in different ensembles, playing my guitar in the set and forth. But I studied 3 semesters of classical, 1 semester of jazz. Keep that in mind. I'm just letting you know that in advance for where this story goes, right? So in my junior year, I had to take one of the most proficient classes. Like, this is the most instrumental class for my development as a musician and my development as a human being and as a professional in general. This class is called Intro to Commercial Music. And when I tell you some of the stuff that we learned in this class, most people would take for granted. It's some things that you think you know how to do, but once you're faced with it, you're like, dang, did I really do it like that? Some of those concepts include how to properly make phone calls and leave voicemails. So we had to call our professor, and he would transcribe those voicemails, and we would literally read each other's transcriptions saying, he would mention the fact that we didn't say our phone number, we didn't say our name. We were talking with African-American vernacular. He didn't say that.
This, nigga, that, please.
He would just be nitpicking the stuff that we were doing. And it was beneficial. We probably should leave more professional voicemails. Other things that we learned, how to create an EPK, very beneficial. That's an electronic press kit if you don't know what that is. We also learned or discussed and even wrote it down on the whiteboard, all the potential music careers or music related careers that we can think of. So everybody in the class said, oh, you could be a touring manager. Oh, you could be a touring musician. Oh, you could be a gig musician. Oh, you could be a church musician. Oh, you could be an instrument tech. Oh, you could be an instrument salesman. And we just wrote it on the board. And there's so many. The list goes on and on and on. And I probably got the binder somewhere. I could go over this stuff with y'all if you're interested. We talked about how to make SMART goals and a whole bunch of things in this class. This class was very beneficial for our development, or beneficial for my development. If nobody else in the class gained anything else from it, it was beneficial for me.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
As you see, majority of those concepts prepared us for what it's like in the world of music. And one of the concepts that I did not mention really prepared me for what it's like in the music business. And that is something that is bittersweet, but mostly bitter. It's something that every musician faces or will face if you have not faced it yet. Something that almost everybody hates, but it is good that you at least have to deal with it. And it's this one word that I like to call rejection. Towards the end of the semester, we had mock auditions, and In the syllabus, it labeled it as mock auditions. We knew we had mock auditions, but nobody even really knew what the mock auditions was for. We didn't know why we were doing it. We didn't even really know what was coming up. We saw it in the syllabus, but the teacher, he was just like, oh yeah, don't forget you got mock auditions next week. And all of us are like,
What did he just say?
Yeah, 2 prepared pieces, sight reading. Y'all will be fine. You're not being graded on how well your audition is. So because he took it not serious, I took it not serious. My classmates took it not serious. But I think I was the only one who had the rejection that I had. And I told my classmates, and they were telling me how they would have reacted in that scenario.
Don't hold me back, dog. Don't hold me back.
Let me tell you about the audition, right? So I walk in and there's a panel of judges. The professor of my class told me that these are music industry veterans. And I only recognized one man in that room because I've seen him around the school. He's an adjunct professor, but I knew he was a music industry veteran. And he was an old, disgruntled man. And when I tell y'all old people, they don't have no filter. Old people just say the first thing that come to their mind.
Where's the rest of you?
Because what you gonna do? Are you gonna hit an old person? Can't wait till I'm old and I'm disgruntled. I'm sitting in there in the audition with my guitar. Mind you, I've only taken 4 semesters of guitar. This is my 5th semester of studying guitar. Majority of it was classical. I just now starting jazz. I decided to make my 2 prepared pieces jazz pieces. Why? Why not? And then I also had to sight read.
Can you sight read?
Yeah.
Who knows how to read guitar? I know how to read guitar. When I was going through it, we had sheet music up there. I'm sitting here looking at the music like, C? Do you mean C of the 1st fret of the B string? Or C of the 5th fret of the G string? Or 8th fret of the high pitch E string? What do you mean C? So I'm sitting here I'm just gonna do my best. And I am shamming. The audition is bad. When I tell you it is bad, it is bad. I'm sitting there struggling and the panels just cut me off mid audition and they're like, all right, that's enough.
Okay, you can stop now.
They started talking to me, asking me questions like, how long have you been playing? I answered, well, somewhat all my life, really. I started studying it and taking it seriously my freshman year. And they said, oh, okay. Well, what's your plans when it comes to music? And I started pitching them all of these different music ideas, these music business ventures that I have in mind. And all of my visions are highly elaborate, but I'm able to speak highly on them. If y'all cannot tell already, I have the gift of gab. People have told me I speak well. I'm sitting there telling them all of these music schemes, these business schemes, and they're sitting there listening, nodding their head, looking very eager, interested in what I'm saying. And I'm answering all of these things professionally. And the disgruntled old man, he's had a lot of success in music. He is a multi-Grammy award winning old man with no filter. Yes, he won some awards. Yes, he had a couple bands. He can probably back up the stuff that he was saying. He hit me with this line right here. I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm only telling you this because I care. But I don't think music is for you. I think you should pursue those business dreams that you were just mentioning. And I don't know. It just seems like you have your head on straight when it comes to that. Heartbreak, rejection. I'm sitting here crying in my mind. I'm not crying out loud. I'm just taking it like a chant because, I'm a real man. I was a sad boy when he told me these things.
I'm sadness.
But I'm being all respectful and I'm just nodding my head and saying, yes, sir. And to be honest, that really wasn't an insult, but it surely was a slap in the face. Imagine, geez, come on now. I'm spending my money at this institution in order to study this, and you're telling me quit.
I can't believe my money's been wasted. What's doing here?
Meanwhile, that was about 5 years ago, maybe 6 years ago. And ever since then, I've had failures. I've failed a few times, but I've had a lot of success when it comes to music. Touring, gigging, session work. I survive off of being a musician. 99% of my income is music. I literally pay my bills, eat, sleep because of music. I just think that man deserves one of those stern fingers that I'm not gonna show because that's just so ruthless of me to do. But I try to tell myself though, if you have not had to deal with rejection, you probably don't know how to truly appreciate success. So keep that in mind. Leave a comment down below to tell me how you would have reacted in that situation, or if you've had to deal with rejection. Let me know. We can become internet friends, telling stories back and forth. You know what I'm saying? But make sure you like, comment, subscribe, because I will be doing a whole lot more Flashback Fridays every Friday from now until I run out of stories. So stay connected and let me know.